Michael Dixon with the honor of getting us started. And away we go from Lumen Field. Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So the Titans readying for their opening drive of the game. Leading him out, someone in his first NFL season. Their rookie starter from Miami.
Two numbers that a lot of people were focused on from his performance last week. That would be 3 and 0, as in touchdowns and interceptions. That's a quarterback who was efficient, aggressive in the right spots, but he took great care of the football. And of course, well, he cares less about those two numbers. He's more about the alphabet, like that letter W, picking up the win in that ball game.
And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Pass play now. Has him on the quick hitter. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. 2nd and 3 now. Throwing now, off play action. Pass brought in by Traylon Burks. And they make the tackle at the 38. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
New set of downs for him at the 38. The first carry here for Tony Pollard. And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3. A look at his numbers on the ground from last week here. Second down now, 7 to go. From the 34, into the hands of Okonkwo. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Throwing now on 1st down. Short pass brought in. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. He's got it. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him...
And he'll score! Touchdown, Tennessee! The Titans finish up an excellent opening series. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start to a game than that. The offense taking it all the way down the field and finishing with 6.
These opening drives, Kate, are such tone setters. It is why every offense loves to script their first 15 plays, right? Everybody knows what's coming. Allows you during the practice week to get into rhythm, but even better when you're that sharp, that crisp, and you finish off and get the early lead.
Sly gets the extra point to go. And the Titans will jump out to a 7-0 lead. All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. Here's a return from the 7. He stopped on the return at the 27. So now it's the Seahawks' turn to take the field for the first time. And in his 8th season as a QB, he's the one to lead them out.
A bit of an uneventful outing individually last week, Kate. A touchdown and a pick for him, but the lasting memory, well, there's no question about it. Walking off that field with the loss, that stings. No doubt he feels he could have done more to prevent that result, so expect to see a motivated individual taking snaps here this week.
Kenneth Walker gets it for the first time. He'll work it a couple of yards past the line. Taken down by Sebastian Joseph Day. 8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Staying with Walker. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards. Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. But as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, well, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. Takes it in at the 26. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. The Titans and Tony Pollard headed back out there offensively. And you know who the ball is going to when they reach the red zone. He's currently top 5 across the NFL in rushing scores this season. 1st and 10, looking to throw. That's brought in by Calvin Ridley. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. Offense set for a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Escapes the pocket. Oh, look at this. Here he goes.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward.
They give on 2nd to Pollard. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. It's a 4-yard gain, and that's going to get him across the marker and earn the 1st. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Motion man sent left. Wideout's getting involved in the ground game. And he's brought down for a loss. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Changing things up. They're going to throw now. Brought in by Burks. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that'll be a Tennessee 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
To the line we go. They're set 1st and 10. Dropping back to throw. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. This is Pollard running left. And they corral him after a minimal gain to the 21. Only a yard from that time, so now 3rd and 9. Back now, pressure on its way. Bails out of the pocket quick. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them 1st and goal.
That is so demoralizing for a defense. You lock things down in coverage. You do everything right on the back end, only to see the quarterback escape, evade the pressure, and get that 1st down anyway. Ugh.
Motioning the tight end left. From the red zone now. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. The Titans pull out in front further, 13-zip. A quick second score for him, Brock, already. And we aren't even out of this opening quarter yet.
Yeah, I think I just saw that D coordinator rip up his game plan down on the sidelines, because you got to find some new resources here. You got to dedicate more bodies, more physicality to this playmaker, because we know in this league, when you get a guy going like this, they're going to go to him until you stop him.
Extra point is up and good from Sly. And the Titans drive out to an early 14-0 lead. All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. Fielded at the 7. He's stopped on the return at the 27. The Seahawks taking the field for their 2nd possession. And they haven't gotten their legs under them on offense just yet, Brock. 3 plays and a punt on their opening drive. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll throw. Smith and Jigba there to grab it. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
Kid, I was on the field with a young high school quarterback just last week, and I told him one of the greatest attributes a quarterback can have is courage. And it takes courage to sit in that pocket that long, let a play develop, and let that receiver work all the way from one side of the field to the other and give him a chance to make a play.
New set of downs for him at the 38. First down, and they go right back to him, making defenders pay for trying to tackle him. It's a pickup of 11, and the Seahawks will have a first down.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
They'll run. First give to Zach Charbonnet. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Taken down by Sebastian Joseph Day. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They won't snap it in time. That is going to be the end of the first quarter. It's a 2-score game early. More from Lumen Field in just a minute. About set for the second quarter. Seahawks football here. They're advancing it well as they face 2nd down. They'll give up the gut to Walker. And he gets it across midfield and into Titans territory. Give him 4 on that run. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Darnold now to throw. No place to go, so he just threw it away.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? Well, they chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And it sails out of bounds. That's a good kick. Got all the way down to what looks like the 10-yard line before leaving the field. Out come the Titans for another offensive possession. And while one sideline has 0 points, this offense, wow, they have had 0 issues so far getting into that end zone.
They are rolling right now, Kate, and unless there's a speed bump on the immediate horizon, things are at risk of getting out of hand.
And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Wow, they get a big old 32 yards out of that play, as well as a new set of downs.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position by hitting on that shot. You've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Ball start, offense.
One of the most common penalties in the sport, and the reaction, it's the same every time, Brock. Frustration from the coach as they get backed up 5 yards. They're set back 5 by that false start. Now 15 yards to the marker. Anticipated the quick staccato pass there. It's knocked away, incomplete. So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Throwing from the gun here. Completed over the middle. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. Devin Witherspoon there on the stop. Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down, and he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
Now on 4th down, one of the greats, Johnny Hecker, out to punt this away. He bunted 3 times in the win last week, and this one is away. And that fair catch corralled just beyond the 25-yard line. No return on that punt. And it'll be Seahawks football. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. First play of the drive. Here's Walker. A flag's down as he stops. Looks like this one's on the offense.
Holding offense.
Well, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. Throwing now from the gun. Taken in by Noah Fant.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns. He puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
He beams one deep right side. Really pushing the envelope on second down, but the deep shot doesn't work. No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Darnold looking to throw. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
Punter takes the field on fourth down, and he sends this one flying. Fields this at the 19. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. That punt goes 63 yards. And the Titans will get set to take over. They'll start this one on the ground with Pollard. And he scampers ahead and gets two on the carry.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
That throw finds Okonkwo. Don't think he's going to get much, if any, as he heads out of bounds right near the line. A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Setting up a throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down. Here comes the Titans punting unit. And he's getting the call for the 2nd time this game. Got 44 yards on his first kick, Brock, and this one looks to be longer. And he's calling for a fair catch, which is made at the 33-yard line. Now Seattle all set to go here on offense. And it's not good, Brock, when you're discussing their punter as one of your early game MVPs, but they just haven't been able to get anything going so far.
No, you'll hear some old school coaches, especially defensive-minded coaches, Kate, and they'll say, hey, man, there's nothing wrong with the drive ending with a kick, right? As a quarterback and as an offense, maybe that was the way you played the game back in the day, but not modern football. You've got to go score.
One play in, and already they're close to midfield. Walker on 1st down. And he hit a seam and got it to the opposing 44. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2. Straight ahead with Charbonnet. And he works this to the 38 before going down. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
Has it down close. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
I love throwing on 1st down, and when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
The flag comes out. This is going to back them up to the edge of the end zone.
Ball start, offense.
There was a blitz coming, and that got somebody to panic and jump early. It cost him 5 yards. Well, the jumpiness cost him 5. 1st and goal a little bit tougher here. They'll run here following the penalty. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
You know how we hear about teams and quarterbacks avoid targeting a stud cornerback, just throwing away from him? Well, maybe they should avoid running it anywhere near this guy. He's having no issue stopping these plays cold.
Handoff to Walker from the gun. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
This coordinator tried to show some trust and belief in his offense. A run after a negative run? Well, you lose a lot of equity and belief in that coordinator. I don't think he's going to try a third run after back-to-back negative losses.
And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means fourth down coming up.
You know, that's an example right there where you just simply got to be on the same page with each other and get both ends of the play right to execute. They want that one back.
Myers' kick is good, and that'll get him back to 11.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
His return starts at the 5. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. So the Tennessee offense headed out for another series. They didn't add to their lead last time out, so they punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Ridley, the motion man left. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Completed to Pollard. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Brought down by Reek Woolen.
Just get this guy touches. I don't care how, I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
They send the tight end in motion. From the 25 on 2nd down. Has the connection to Ridley. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on 1st down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on 2nd down.
That finds Burks complete. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. New set of downs for him from the 46. He'll throw it yet again. Completed here to Spears. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 38. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Ernest Jones with the pick. And the Seahawks get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. He steps in front and picks it off. Looked like he missed the spot there, partner. Maybe because he threw it on the run?
Yeah, I think that's exactly the case, Kate. You know, you get set in the pocket. This game is fast anyway. Things are flying, but once you get on the run, it is a whole nother speed and really becomes advantage defense as they take it away.
The Seahawks are going to take over late in the half. And down a couple of scores, Brock. They probably try to get this into field goal range to trim that lead before halftime. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Darnold. Here's pressure, and he is dropped by the Titans. Timeout taken by the defense. They're 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. Well, last play didn't work out too well. Looks like they're going ground game now. And he's going nowhere there. Add that to what's been a tough afternoon for him. Michael Dixon on the punt. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. Collects this at the 35. And he's going to get a modest amount on that return before he ends up out of bounds. The Titans are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And at the pace he's begun the game throwing the football, Brock, he is in line for a special type of performance if they need to keep throwing it until the end. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. One final shot before halftime. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's able to get this down to the 36. Well, that's the halfway point, and the visiting Titans taking a nice little lead to intermission. Now from the extreme northwest to the extreme southeast, we're going to head down to Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report with our buddy, Jonathan Coachman.
Both these teams ready for the fight ahead. We're ready to get back to it as well. And to do just that, we'll hand it back over to Kate and Brock.
Thanks so much for the look around the league, Coach. But now it's time to turn our attention back to this one as we begin the third quarter. Returning it from the 4. And this drive will start inside the 25. So as we get set to begin the third quarter, it's the Seattle offense who's going to be out there first. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. Short pass brought in. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
And he's tackled with markers down. This one should be on the defense.
Offside, defense.
Easy call for the officials there. He was offsides at the snap, and that's going to cost him.
Automatic first down.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Running it after the penalty. And they're all over him again. He's dropped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. He gets it complete to Kenneth Walker.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to third down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
And even on third down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and third downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
And this one did hit at the 8, but took a big bounce and finished its journey in the end zone for a touchback. The Titans ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap. They're going to throw. Okonkwo brings it in. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the gun, they go with Pollard. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That offensive group really hoped he was going to get it all right there, reset it back to 1st down. But instead, the defense, well, they're not going to let anything come easy. And their fight is giving them a chance to stall things out on 3rd and short.
And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
To throw here on 1st down. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So it'll be second down. Fakes the handoff, now to throw. Finds a seam down the middle. Touchdown, Tennessee! The Titans push their lead further to start the half. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
You know, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
That one splits the uprights. And the Titans push their lead to 18. All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. Here's a return from the 7. He's got a lane up past the 30. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. The Seattle offense eager to get back on the field. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Walker now from the gun. And he'll get it up to the 44. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels. And right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
Going to the ground again on first. And he's brought down, but there's some laundry on the field.
Offside, defense.
Pretty easy call to make. He lined up offsides, and now he gets a talking to from his coach.
Still first down.
A bit jumpy across the way there, and that halves the distance ahead of him on first down. To throw, here's Darnold. He's dropping. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
The ultimate team sport still has so many times games within the game, individual battles, and right now, they don't have an answer for this guy. It may be time to turn the line to Chip to find some way to protect the quarterback.
All right, here we go. Second down. Trying again, following the sack. Into the hands of Walker. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And it sets up Seattle with first down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1. Here's Darnold to throw. Hits him on the out route. And he's got it down to the 30 before going out. 5 yards on that play and enough for a new set of downs. 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now an inside give to Walker. And he pushed deep into enemy territory with that, down inside the 25. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3. From the 24. Hauled in left side. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Roger McCreary brings him down that time. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. The give now to Walker. And defenders continue to swarm over to get him at the line. No gain on the play. That brings up a tough decision for them on 4th down.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
Jason Myers out there now to try a field goal for the Seahawks on 4th down. This from 40 on the right hash. Myers' kick is good. And that lowers the deficit to 15.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. Second time they brought him out for a field goal, and second time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
Return starts at the 3. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. We'll get another look at this Tennessee offense. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
First and 10, it's Pollard. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Gonna be second down.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Finds a man right side. And he's brought down after a short gain. Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Pass play coming here. He has the first over the middle. To the house for a Tennessee touchdown. The Titans make it a 3-possession game. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period.
Yeah.
End of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Sly gets the extra point to go. And the Titans grow the lead now to 22 points. All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. That's going to be taken in at the 8. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Seahawks are headed out, and we'll see Kenneth Walker. And they have tried on occasion to ramp up their passing game, but just nothing has worked with consistency yet, Brock. Might be why they trail near the end of this third quarter.
You sure love teams who excel on the ground, right? You love a physical game of football who can hammer at the opponent. But in today's NFL, it's just impossible to win if you don't have a passing component that's balancing it out.
Here's 2nd and 11. He finds Fant. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. 3rd and just 2 to go. Now Darnold. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Okay, that's one of those situations where it's just a double whammy. Number one, you can't afford to give up a possession and waste a possession like that. And number two, to do it so quickly. A 3 and out in that situation. And really, listen, if there is a path to a comeback, and that's a big if right now, it's going to take sustained drives, and a 3 and out just devastating on that possession.
It's some nice running on that return. He gets it up past the 35. That excitement brings us to the end of the quarter. They'll have a shiny new set of downs to play with to start the 4th. It's Titans football, and this could be over quick. This lead huge entering the 4th. First down, ball at the 36. They give to Pollard from the gun. And he won't get anything there. Several defenders nearby to hold him up. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Throwing now, off play action. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. 1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Ooh, a little movement along the line there. That's going to cost the defense 5 yards.
Encroachment, defense.
He thought he had the timing down and could make the play, but just a hair too early.
Still first down.
Encroachment on that previous play, and that makes this a much shorter 1st and 5. Up the middle, here goes Pollard. And he winds up with a solid gain down past the 45. He gets him 4, so already they've got 2nd and 1 coming up. Oh, looks like the defense got a little too excited there, and that's going to be a penalty.
Encroachment. Defense.
So keep that 2nd and short play in your back pocket. The penalty goes ahead and gives them the 1st.
Automatic first down.
1st and 10 for him now, following the penalty. Right back to Pollard. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Titans will have a 1st down. Now the shotgun give to Spears. And he's able to get this down to the edge of the red zone. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Trying the inside handoff to Pollard. And he doesn't get this one very far. Down to only about the 18. Give him 3 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2. He's dropping back to throw. Brought in by Burks. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Going with Pollard on the ground. And all he can get is 1 yard. Ran that right into the defensive front. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Again, a run with Pollard. And here's another stop made right at the line. Nice back-to-back reps from this defense. So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. They're throwing it. Defense too much. The Seahawks drag him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Yeah, that's what I call an absolute no-no. I mean, that just can't happen down here in the red zone. You've got to find a way to get rid of the football because now you're not only outside the red zone and you put some points that you thought were a guarantee with either a touchdown or field goal, now a little bit in limbo.
Up and good from Joseph. And their lead grows further to 25 points.
Yet another shot across the bow of a ship that's already sinking here, Kate. He could have made that field goal. Heck, he could have turned around and kicked it directly at his coach because it feels like they've got this one in hand.
Kickoff taken at the 3. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Seahawks offense running out now. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. That's taken in by Cup. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains. Here's Darnold. Walker hauls it in. And he's going to be across midfield, close to the 45 before going out.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Kate, that's one of those situations as a quarterback that on my grade sheet, that's a negative. That screen was ambushed by the defense, and you've got to throw it away. Just find a way to put it at his feet and not create a negative play for your offense.
Finds him over the middle. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
And he's stuffed cold by that defensive front. So the run doesn't get the yardage. It's a turnover on downs.
These fourth down runs, it's all about want to and will. Want to keep it conservative offensively, try to move it across, but that defense was having none of it. And now they get themselves off the field.
Good starting field position for the Titans. They've got it, 1st and 10. Here's the give to Pollard. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Well, it looks like the defense jumps just before the snap there.
Encroachment, defense.
Broke the plane before the snap, and that's going to give the offense some free yardage.
Still 2nd down.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Here's a throw. Completed to Pollard. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first. They send a tight end in motion. Didn't get that one off in time. This is going to be a delay of game.
Delay of game, offense.
Must have lost sight of the play clock there, Brock, because the quarterback could have snapped it in time, but instead, they take the penalty.
Still 1st down.
All right, one more snap before the 2-minute warning. Shotgun handoff now for Spears. And he has 7 on that run as we're down to the 2-minute warning. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They're going to stay on the ground with Spears. And they make the stop. We're going to say at about the 37-yard line. Give them about 3 yards, and now they're going to have 3rd and 5 to figure out. He's going left on the option. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. It's only 2 on the pickup, and it's an interesting call for them now on 4th down.
I can promise you that's not what it looked like on the practice field nor on the whiteboard. Typically, QB run is going to net you a whole lot more yardage than that. But let's give some credit. Strong effort by that defensive front who contained a play that typically goes for a whole lot more.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that gives them a 28-point advantage.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense ready to get going once again. And they can really do what they want with these last couple of snaps afforded to them because the outcome already decided. Throwing here, Darnold. Dumps it off to his running back. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
I know coordinator and quarterback going to be upset with that 1st down because you call a screen on 1st, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, the defense creates a negative play and sets them back behind the sticks.
So it's a win on the road for the Titans. And they carried some of that winning football from last game into this contest. Now a modest little win streak blossoming for them, Brock. They've got 2 in a row as they get out of here with a victory. And with Brock Heward and our EA Sports crew, I'm Kate Scott saying so long from this one. The Titans are your winners as we say so long from Seattle.